Kicking It with Mia, and we're about to get into season 16 reunion part 2. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so we're picking right up where we left off, and that's with Angela saying why she believed Phaedra did this to her. And Phaedra is still sticking strong that she didn't do it. And at this point, I don't think Phaedra done it. Porsha is like, she don't believe Phaedra would do it. And Angela kind of is like, Porsha, why would you believe Phaedra after she done did this to a previous castmate? Basically speaking on the situation with Candy. And I'm like, okay, Angela, so you didn't watch the show and now you got preconceived notions about people and now you just blaming people. Like, at this point, we don't know who done it. Like Porsha said, that the situation is crazy. It's like this person is saying that it's somebody named Junebug. Angela is saying that he said Junebug to protect his sister. So Angela stands strong on that Junebug, the guy, not Junebug, but Marcus' sister knows Phaedra brother and sister. And Phaedra's like, I don't know everybody in my siblings know. What does that mean? So Phaedra calls her brother. Her brother says what any brother, sister, best friend will say. No. Like if I call one of my peoples right now, if I call my folks right now and say, hey, did I do this? They gonna cover for me. Like, that's what a brother's supposed to do. But at the end of the day, the whole situation is ridiculous. Like, at this point, I believe production set it up. I believe that Kelly had her hand in it because she wanted to be messy. And like, we just don't know who done it, because I'm still like, if somebody set it up, because how did this man come in the party and get mic'd up? Also, Angela brings up that somebody was with Phaedra. They seen each other somewhere, and somebody was with Phaedra, and they came up to Angela and was like, I got them hands. Phaedra don't fight, basically, but I got them hands. And if you black, you know what I got them hands mean. Because Andy was like, well, what does that mean? It means that my sister ain't gonna get out there and beat your ass, but I'll beat your ass. That's what that means. Anyways, I'm like, okay, Angela, if this happened, why you just now saying something? I feel like as forthcoming and open as Angela has been, and Angela has a strong personality, I don't think this is information that she would have held. And Phaedra said that too. She was like, well, if somebody said that to you, why I'm just now hearing about it? Which I kind of like, I'm on the same page as like, why we just hearing about that, Angela? At the end of the day, it's all falling short. I think Marcus was just a messy queen who wanted some TV time, and he did his part at the event, at Kelly's event, and Angela was crazy enough to sit down and go meet with this man and give this man the fame and attention that he's want. Because like I said before, he's since started a podcast. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen him all over the internet, chiming in, playing recordings and stuff of what happened. Like, he wanted his 15 seconds of fame, and unfortunately, Angela gave it to him. And it's like, we're moving on with this situation, because honestly, we don't know who done it. I don't know if Phaedra really done it to secure her spot, because her spot was already secured. So Andy them kind of debunked that too. At this point, it's just falling flat. Unfortunately, the receipts that Angela had did not receipt. I mean, it didn't change a thing. I think Angela was really strong and did her big one throughout the season. But when it came to the reunion, when it came to the spot that, kind of really mattered, Angela fell flat with this Marcus situation. But I do want to see Angela back next season. Angela brings up the situation with Kelly, that Kelly was comparing her marriage to Angela's marriage. And of course, Kelly denied it, because we know Kelly gonna deny. She gonna lie. So Kelly denied it. Then they roll the tape back, and basically, Kelly, in fact, did, compare her marriage to Angela's, and basically was like, I don't want you to end up like me and all this other stuff. And Angela felt the way, rightfully so. And so Kelly is like, she don't remember saying it, but if she did, she apologized. Typical Kelly behavior. And it's crazy to me that just a few minutes ago, you was saying that Porsha was comparing her marriage to yours, but Porsha was comparing y'all divorces because y'all both have spouses who are trying to humiliate y'all, make y'all look bad, and take everything from y'all, right? And you are comparing your marriage to Angela's, and now you don't remember. Like, this is classic Kelly. Like, this is what Kelly does. Then someone writes in and says that they don't believe Angela is 43 at the time. She'll be 44 now. Angela bought her birth certificate and she pulled it out, and it says that she was born in 81. Now, I think Angela, she does look a little older, but I think it's too because Angela has an old soul. Because let's be clear, Angela is fine as hell. People say it's because Angela, she don't dress like the rest of them. But I'm like, oh, we saying the same thing. Angela be dressing sexy. I just think maybe she has an old soul. At this point, whether she was born in 81 or not born in 81, like, if y'all want to tell us your age, girl, do your thing. But I didn't think that Angela was, 81. I thought maybe late 70s. But hey, if she is this her age, ain't nothing wrong with it. She doesn't look bad. I think only thing that might make her look older may be her nose. But other than that, Angela looks good. She's not an ugly woman. And hey, baby, do you. Andy talks about Phaedra saying that, Angela was the oldest, youngest looking woman that she know. Phaedra said the only reason she shaded Angela was after all the allegations. So basically, after everything played out and she seen what was going on in the confessionals, she shaded Angela, because we know the confessionals are filmed after the season, or like, it's not filmed at the same time as the season, put it like that. Someone else writes in and says, Angela, she's probably going through perimenopause, which I thought that the whole time. It's like, it's okay. Like, I don't know, but perimenopause can start in your 30s. And if you feel like your hormones all out of whack, go to the doctor and see and get it dealt with. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. But Angela does say she thinks she is, so. Angela asks about her daughter Amari and her getting married without letting Angela know. As we know, Angela didn't find out until I think 4 months in that her daughter had got married. And so Andy is asking her why was she upset, and Angela basically said that she didn't want her to get married because she was 23, not because, she's dating another woman. She's basically like, she's been knowing since her daughter was 16 that, her and her partner has been together since they were 16. Angela's like, she just knew. And it's not that because, that she is dating someone of the same sex, but it was because she's 23, which I absolutely agree. Because you don't realize how young you are sometimes. And I know it works for some people. So if it works and, y'all feel like y'all going to be together, then, but me personally, I don't want my kids to get married really young. Now maybe mid-20s, cool. But like those early 20s, no. But she said, it wasn't the same sex, and she said that she had a conversation with Cynthia about that, and she thanked Cynthia for that. And yeah, because we know Cynthia's daughter is fluid, and so she felt comfortable talking to Cynthia about it. They did talk about how Drew didn't have Angela back, and Angela admits that she did feel like Drew didn't have her back, which I said that in past recaps that Angela did not have Drew back the way, that Drew didn't have Angela back the way Angela went to bat for her. And Drew, she apologized. She said that she was going through a lot, and that's the reason that she didn't have her back. They talk about her mother, the passing of her mother. We know her mother passed suddenly. And she said that, of course, she's still grieving, rightfully so. She said that her and her mother had wanted to come on this platform together. Her mother wanted to talk about her bipolar disorder and tell how she overcome that. So I do send my condolences again to Angela, because I know that's not a hard, that's not an easy pill to swallow, losing your mother, and especially losing her suddenly. So my condolences goes out to Angela. So of course Shamea gotta insert herself when it comes to Drew, and she asked Drew why is it that Angela can take up for her, she can take up for Angela, but when it comes to her riding for Porsha, she's basically seen as a lapdog. And Drew is just like, I want so much better for you, like, girl, please. And I think she's saying, Shamea is saying that they picked apart their relationship. Now, Shamea. And I think the problem that everybody has with Shamea, well, especially Angela and Drew, with her talking about Porsha is, maybe they asked the question, maybe they did. I don't even think they said they asked. I don't know if they asked, or whatever the situation was. Shamea basically unloaded the clip and was going to them about Porsha. So it's like, I believe they are looking at it from a lens as, if Porsha is such a bad person and such a bad friend, then why, when we are together, you go so hard for her, but you telling us this behind closed doors? I think that's the issue. Why I don't think they have a problem with Shamea taking up for Porsha. I think the problem is because Shamea have all these grievances against Porsha, and she's letting everybody know besides Porsha. But then when everybody gets in the group together, you are going hard for Porsha. So it's like, well, damn, you was just telling us this, but then when we're together, you all up Porsha's ass. I think that's the issue there. Andy asked Phaedra why she didn't attend the Married to Medicine reunion. And she basically said, that those ladies didn't like her and she didn't have anything else to give them. Baby, once Phaedra got that Real Housewives contract, she wasn't thinking about Married to Medicine. And she did say, I am originally a housewife. They bring up the situation with Britt, with Phaedra telling Britt that she needs to be cool with Phaedra giving her great advice, basically. So we all agreed that Phaedra gave Britt some real solid advice. Porsha says that, she haven't seen a housewife do it on air, that Nene and I think Cynthia gave her advice off air, but she haven't seen no one do it, on air. And like, at the end of the day, I get it, because Britt was self-sabotaging. And unfortunately, it's unfortunate that Britt didn't take the solid advice and stick it out at least see herself through the whole thing. Because I think that after, watching Britt over the whole season, like I said, we gave her a lot of flack at the beginning and stuff. But towards the end of the season, Britt was actually starting to do her big one. And she was getting Kelly and Shamea together. And she was able to hang with the girls. But unfortunately, Britt trying to get a coin. She trying to get that lawsuit rolling, which I don't even think is really legally filed yet. But hey, who knows? Of course, Kelly and Shamea have to chime in and basically say, well, Kelly says Shamea gave Britt that same advice. Okay, it was off camera. We didn't see it. She was like, okay, well, she gave her that same advice. And then here goes Shamea. And y'all giving her this advice, and she talked this mess about you. And this is my problem with all three of them, Kelly, Britt, and Shamea. It's like, since y'all got y'all issues, now y'all want to spill the beans. Since Britt had her, since they kicked Britt out of the alliance, Britt went and told Porsha everything. Now, Shamea and Kelly are trying to say that Britt was talking shit about Phaedra and Porsha. Baby, all three of y'all was talking shit. Let's just be clear. And it's like, she's like, well, why you telling her that? Well, apparently Shamea, she didn't know that Britt was talking shit about her. So that's why she just seen Britt self-sabotaging, and she just thought that she should tell her. It's like, it's a tit for tat with them. Like, oh, well, you didn't give me that advice. Well, you gave her that advice and she was talking shit about you. Okay, you didn't come to Porsha or Phaedra and let them know that Britt was talking shit about them, and Britt was like that she was gonna come for them and all this extra shit. But now that y'all got an issue with Britt, y'all want to let us know. Like, it is what it is. The season is over. Y'all was in an alliance. Of course, Britt was talking shit about Porsha and Phaedra because y'all was too. Let it go. Phaedra started making a speech, and Angela felt like Phaedra was talking to her. And Phaedra's like, if that's how you take it, then yes, this could be directed towards you. And she's like, when I reached out to you about your mother, that was real. Which, that's big of Phaedra. At the end of the day, like Phaedra said, they on a show. They are getting paid to do a reality show and to be petty and keep drama going. At the end of the day, though, life is real. And when somebody loses someone, I don't think that they hate each other enough. Like, my thing is, I think that some of y'all be getting too caught up. I don't think these ladies hate each other. Now, some of them may dislike each other for whatever the reason is. But I hope that, Phaedra reaching out to Angela was sincere. Phaedra said it was, and Angela said she received it. Someone asked the question, how is Porsha able to forgive Phaedra but not forgive her best friend Shamea? And, Porsha basically said it was time. It's been time between her and Phaedra. And so Shamea says, well, she feels the way because we've seen what Shamea does. Shamea deflects in front of people and act like everything is cool, and she bottles up her feelings and she hold on to them, which is the worst thing. And so she's basically like, she still feels the way. Well, she didn't say she still feels the way. And as they were asking the question, and Shamea started trying to explain herself, Angela was shaking her head no. And then Cynthia agreed with Angela. And so Andy was like, you don't think that Shamea is over it? And Cynthia chimes in and she says, no. Like, I feel like Shamea says she's over something, but low-key she's not. And it's okay for you not to be over it, but you don't need to act like you're over it in people's face. Phaedra says that her and Shamea had a conversation off the air, and she thought that they were good, but like kind of how Shamea has done Porsha. She says that she's cool, but when she get in these interviews, she let the chopper sing. And she's like, well, they're asking me a question, and it's like, no, Shamea, just say you're not over it. So Phaedra apologizes. Shamea accepts the apology. She says now, when someone asks her about the Phaedra situation, she will basically say she's apologized for it and she's moved past it. We'll see. So they go on a 45-minute lunch break, and we just have some little scenes in between. We see Shaq, Phaedra's man, kissing her. He come to support his baby. We see Shamea on the phone, FaceTime with Gerald again. Like I say, Gerald do not want to do this show at all, y'all. We only seen Gerald like when they are actually filming like 2 times. I think at her party and when she did her showcase. Other than that, Gerald is on that FaceTime call, and I'm like, y'all are in Atlanta filming this. Doing the reunion. Excuse me. Why Gerald, you could have still showed up, but Gerald said he wasn't showing up because he didn't want them to think he was gonna be on camera. We see Porsha. Dennis walks in, and y'all, Porsha and Dennis are so funny to me. It's like they both low-key still into each other. And Dennis, he low-key flirting. Then afterwards, Shamea goes to Kelly's room and she's talking, and that's another thing. Shamea told Gerald, she told Kelly this as well, so I just said it together. She basically said that she's not being heard. Everybody's talking over her, and it's a lot of stuff she gotta say, and she can't get off her chest because people are speaking over her. And I'm like, Shamea, this is the reunion, and excuse me, if you want your voice to be heard, you gonna have to speak the fuck up. All that waiting on everybody else to say something and not knowing when to interject and stuff. And I don't know if y'all watched Candy speak on it. Candy told Shamea this. She said something about, like, at the reunion, when you trying to get your point across, just hurry up and cut them off and say what you gotta say, basically. And Shamea, you are failing miserably. I hate to say it, but you are, girl. And so Kelly then is like, you know, she needs to say what she needs to say. She can't believe Britt didn't come. They are both acting like they are dumb to the alliance, which we're gonna later hear Shamea basically admit the alliance. It's just like all over the place. Angela comes in to see what they got going on. Oh yeah, we did see Angela and Charles, you know, dancing and enjoying themselves. Charles, one thing about it, Charles gonna come to support his woman. He might embarrass her, but he gonna come support her. And he like, where the haters at? But so Angela comes in, talks to Kelly and Shamea. They basically make a joke about her. Do she want to be in the alliance? Basically, that they had an alliance for all the young people. Angela's like, oh, so that's why I wasn't asked to be in the alliance, because basically they was trying to call Angela on the low key. And so Angela's like, she cool with them, but baby, she got her eye on them. Angela peep game, but you know she gonna play a role as she should. So we see basement boy Ralph with his dog ass in here getting a lineup. So Dennis going there to talk to him, and he's like, how is it working with Drew? Ralph gets on my damn nerves. He do anything for this camera. And so Dennis is like, you know, Drew is really talented. But then Ralph is like, well, I didn't know it was going to be an album about me. Ralph, please. So Dennis is like, yeah, Drew brought a picture of your face to the studio while she was recording, put it in the booth, and basically was looking at your face so she can get mad again when she sing them songs to know how much of an ain't shit motherfucker you is. And Raph is like, what? Drew? Dennis is like, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Take it personal. She don't like your ass, and she got good reason not to. Like, I know Drew can't stand she got kissed by his ass. I know she can't. The ladies are back, and so they get into the whole Kenya and Britt situation. And Andy says we have statements from Kenya and Britt. Y'all, I thought Kenya and Britt had wrote real statements when he said this last week. Now he done got on her and read what they done wrote on social media the day that they started filming. Anyways, I'm not gonna read the statements because I'm pretty sure y'all already seen it. Basically, whatever they wrote on social media, those are the statements. And I felt like Kenya put her statement out, apologized to everybody because it's setting her up for her to come back. I do think Kenya will be back next season, especially if there's no lawsuit for real. She'll be back. Like I said, I do think Kenya is needed. I haven't always been the biggest Kenya fan, but Kenya does her job well. Sometimes she goes too far, which this is one of the times she went too far. But for the most part, Kenya is good TV. And gotta give credit where credit is due. Britt basically says that, you know, it was her reason for not coming. The pictures wasn't her. I don't know if the pictures was her or not. Shamea says that, well, it makes sense that the pictures wasn't her, even though she didn't tell us that, because I guess the night after it happened, or the night that it did happen, they went out, and Britt was okay. Which, though, I feel like if it is a lawsuit, they may use this against Britt, of Kelly and Shamea saying that Britt was out partying and she wasn't distraught like she really was. But Britt didn't see the pictures. Britt wasn't there. And then Kelly walked out. So my thing is to the other ladies, did it not look like Britt? Or could they, it was the way the position was faced, maybe they couldn't see Britt's face for real. It was just her body or something, since she was giving fellatio or her head was down. And maybe that's why Kenya didn't think that it would get her kicked off the show, that it would go as far as it did. That I like, now that I'm saying it out loud about this situation, maybe that's why Kenya did what she did. Don't make it right, but maybe that's why she didn't think that it would get her in the trouble that it got her, because you couldn't really see her face. Maybe, I mean, that's just a thought. Somebody asked the question about, did Cynthia feel like why didn't she support Kenya the way she supported Britt? And in this situation, I got to say I'm on Cynthia's side, because I don't feel like Cynthia did not support Kenya. I just felt like Kenya was mad because Cynthia told her what it was for real. Like, bitch, what you're doing is like, I'm disappointed in you. Which, as any real friend, me personally, I don't like yes men friends. If I'm out here doing some dumbass shit or some stuff that you think is flawed or that you don't agree with, tell me. Because like, I'm okay. I'm very open-minded. Even if I don't want to hear that shit at the time. If you tell me something and I might be mad at the time, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna reflect like, damn, I could have handled this differently. I could have did that differently. I don't think Cynthia was really supporting Britt. All she said was, no one can tell Britt how to feel if it wasn't them plastered in front on a poster board and presented to a group of people. Which in turn, I agree with. Like, if Britt is saying it's not her, but if it was Britt, or if it was you, if it was me, if it was you, or if it was me, like, if somebody posted us plastered on a poster board doing something that's supposed to be private, and without, showing it to everybody without our consent, that's ground for making anybody feel like a certain type of way or feeling embarrassed and humiliated. I think Cynthia was being a friend, and she told her right then and there when Kenya done it that she was disappointed in her. I think Cynthia was being real. Whether y'all feel like Cynthia hasn't been always a good friend, she's a pusher, whatever the case y'all feel about Cynthia in this particular situation, I don't feel like Cynthia was wrong. I feel like Cynthia was being real, and Cynthia was telling her, like, you are wrong for that. Not only are you wrong for that, why the hell would you want to sabotage your own event just to get back at somebody else? It just didn't make sense. Like I said before, now production should have, not just production, the network should have done something to Britt before it got this far. But unfortunately, it got this far, and Kenya, you took it too far. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. It happened. Andy asked Porsha how she feel, and Porsha basically said that, she was pissed and she was disappointed in Kenya as well. She said she talked to Kenya. She knew Kenya was mad. She said when it happened, she could look at Kenya and tell that she really felt the way, and she kind of was scared and stuff. And, Porsha was like, she wanted to help her out because she's a sister of the show. We know Porsha and Kenya were getting it along at the beginning of the season, which was a breath of fresh air, honestly. Like, I like seeing them actually get along. And so Porsha was just like, she talked to Kenya the night before her event, and they were trying to figure out how she was going to get Britt back. But Porsha was like, at the event, she didn't know it was going to be poster boards. And then she was like, if nobody could have told me that Kenya was going to do this, like put it on poster boards, and here goes Shamea. Well, it's not our fight. You said that. She said somebody from on the show gave her the photos. Who gave her the photos? Shamea, you already know who done it. So Porsha did say it was Drew. She said it was Drew. Drew says she don't like her name coming up in this situation. She can't believe she said that. Kenya said that she got a private investigator. At the end of the day, Porsha said that after Porsha revealed that it was Drew, Kenya called her and said she didn't say Drew. Porsha's adamant that Kenya said Drew, which may be why what's her name? Britt is saying that she's suing Drew. But yeah, like, everybody was disappointed in Kenya. Cynthia let it be known that she haven't spoken to Kenya since the day of her event, which is unfortunate, because I really do feel like Cynthia was really being a real friend to Kenya. We know Kenya has done some stuff to Cynthia back in the gap that was very questionable for me, that I don't see how Cynthia is still her friend. But at the end of the day, we know Cynthia has a big heart. And for Kenya to dog Cynthia over this and like say, you know, you don't want to talk to her, and Cynthia's like, Sweet 16 hasn't been so sweet. So I'm like, damn, Kenya, why you do 50 Cent like that? Girl, everybody not going to agree with you, and you shouldn't want everybody to agree with you. So Andy with the shade was like, you know, this season we finally got to know the artist formerly known as Porsha's friend. Talking about Shamea. And so basically he asked, you know, Shamea about her life and stuff. Like, people wrote in saying that they didn't know Shamea was that girl, because like we all had high hope for Shamea. We knew she had wealth, but we didn't know that she was wealthy as she was. But, you know, Andy, like, you know, how does it feel to be full-time? We talk about Shamea's daughter. She lets us know that baby Shiloh is doing good. At the moment, she's had 2 surgeries since they wrapped. That she got tubes in her ear, so she's like, she can hear better, and she's actually starting to talk. So that's good to hear. Shamea, she does start crying because she felt like Britt was trying to be funny about the situation with her daughter. And like I said before, Britt didn't say anything about Shamea's daughter. She said something about Shamea's parenting. But at the end of the day, kids shouldn't have been brought up. Shamea's feelings are valid. Like, whether we feel a certain type of way about Shamea or not, I feel like her feelings are valid. Because at the end of the day, although she's taking care of a child who needs a little more attention, it doesn't mean that she cannot enjoy her life, you know. And then she has the means. It's not like it's just her taking care of this child. She talks about her singing career. Someone asked, why does she always feel the need to shade Drew or compare herself to Drew? Shamea says that she doesn't compare herself to Drew, which we all know that to be a lie. If we've been watching the show, Shamea definitely feels a certain type of way about Drew, and she definitely compares herself to Drew. She says that Drew lies so much, which we found out Shamea is a liar too. And so she's like, Drew is like, well, what did I lie about? Of course, she's saying the 5 love languages, but Shamea just took it figuratively and not the point that she was talking love languages. I think Shamea thought that she was talking about languages, like speaking languages, and Drew was like, she never said that. She's like, Drew lied about her bag. We know Shamea bought the knockoff Judah Libra bag, and Porsha's like, give me the bag, I'll take it. You don't want it, I'll take it. And Shamea is like, well, let's see how this go. And Drew is like, my bag is real, which this whole situation is dumb as hell to me. I feel like Shamea, out of all the stuff that Drew has lied about, this is what you picked to call her liar with. It's just falling flat for me. Like, it's a bag. Everybody don't have the coin, the almost $6,000, well, it will be $6,000 after taxes, to spend on the bag, Shamea. And that's okay. Even though Drew proved that her stuff was real, and the actual designer did comment yesterday proving that, saying that Drew's bag was real. But it's not even, that's neither here nor there. Why do we care? Someone asked, did Shamea have to give her husband a son because she's going through all these fertility issues, and we know she is adamant on getting him that boy. We do learn that the previous surrogate that she had, they did a transfer, it didn't take, so she has a new surrogate. And I kind of wondered this same thing, like, because I just feel like Shamea has a lot going on. We can tell, like, to me personally, I don't feel like Shamea is happy as she tries to portray herself. And I could be wrong. So y'all don't get in these comments or trying to talk that noise to me. But it just seems like Shamea isn't as happy as she's come off to be. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But with her trying to do all these things, you're trying to act, you're trying to be on this reality show. You have a kid that needs more attention. you're working in other areas. You're trying to sing and be an artist. It's like, I know y'all got the coin, but do y'all really want to have another baby? But like she said, that if she's in a marriage, it's give or take. Her man is not going to leave her if she can't, give him a boy, but he wants a boy, and that's what she want to do for him. So I respect that. So we get to the Porsha and Shamea of it all. And so I'm just going to tie up what happened yesterday in this part of the recap. So Andy asked Porsha and Shamea have their friendship now. Both of them paused for a long time. And then Porsha decided to speak. He goes over how, they've been friends for years. And, how their friendship was beautiful and all of that. So Porsha basically says that their friendship is non-existent. Porsha came with the receipts. If you watch the Peacock version, it showed Porsha take her phone and show where she actually did send Shamea flowers and stuff for getting on the show. Porsha aired all this out yesterday. Porsha woke up, I guess, after seeing this show play out again Sunday night. She was mad, and baby, she woke up again and just let it all hang out. Put it all out there. So basically, Shamea was lying. Shamea had been saying that Porsha didn't congratulate her when she came on the show. Everybody said that Porsha was jealous of Shamea. She didn't want Shamea on the show. Porsha did congratulate Shamea. Not only congratulated her, she sent her flowers saying congratulations. Shamea made this cringy video talking about my best friend. This is what you get when your best friend send you flowers. Porsha made a post congratulating her. I guess she called her. Then Shamea twists her words and says that she didn't congratulate her, that she didn't take her out. She congratulated her, but she didn't take her out. Then she said that Porsha wasn't a part of her wedding. If y'all go back, y'all remember Shamea saying she felt the way because Porsha attended her wedding in Atlanta, but didn't attend her wedding in Kenya. Basically, Shamea is saying that Porsha attended the dowry, not the wedding. This is what she said yesterday. But I think it's basically the same thing. It's like it's a traditional wedding, and then you have your wedding in Africa. Me personally, I've seen mixed reviews about people that are from the African culture having mixed reviews about, the wedding. Like, they saying that, it's for the family, basically, to let the bride know that she will be taken care of, and she received different stuff from the groom's family. A lot of people were saying that it's kind of semantics, that Shamea is trying to twist the words, basically saying that it wasn't her traditional wedding. On the show, Porsha was going off on Shamea saying, well, what do your husband recognize the first wedding as? Which, after I got to thinking, and after just seeing so many different opinions about what the wedding is, and Porsha put the meaning of it, and she even put a screenshot of Shamea saying her actual wedding diary from 2017. So it was a wedding. I feel like they go back to Africa. They have the white wedding, and then they have the traditional wedding. But the traditional wedding is like when it's legalized. If you're talking kind of like here in American culture. So I feel like that was the traditional, and then the wedding in Africa was just, like the Western wedding. So Porsha, did say, like Shamea has been lying, which, like I said, I really hate this video because I do genuinely think they love each other, but I don't think they are friends like that. Because one, they both have done stuff. Like, I don't want to be one-sided and say it's all Shamea, but what Shamea done on this show, though, just proves that Shamea can't be trusted. Because I don't see how y'all don't see what Shamea did is right. And I feel like anybody who is agreeing with what Shamea got on this show and did is fake as fuck. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Shamea is not wrong for feeling a type of way. But the problem is, for me, is that happened. You got married 8 years ago. Shamea just posted today that it's their anniversary week. And so they got married 8 years ago, right? And you get on the show, but between when she got married to now, you've been to Porsha's wedding with Simon. You've been on vacation with Porsha and Simon. Y'all have been cool. Then you get on this show and you go to everybody but Porsha and says that y'all aren't friends. She didn't come to your wedding. Then you get on all these interviews and you dog Porsha. So Porsha is right to feel some type of way, because it's like at this point we've been cool, but then when you get on this show, you basically trying to sabotage me, like Porsha said, and then Porsha says that you are in the alliance with 2 women that I basically don't know. And then Shamea said, I tried to include you in the alliance. So which means Porsha wasn't part of the alliance and they did have an alliance. Porsha said Shamea is lying. Shamea said you are lying too. It's like they're both doing the same things. And I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like this part of Shamea. I feel like Shamea she's not confident in herself and she don't know how to stand on her business. I'm starting to think that the Housewives may not be for Shamea. And although I was wanting to get to know more of Shamea, her husband don't want to film. I feel like that's why she kind of went on a smear campaign about Porsha, because she really didn't have a storyline. And it's just like, I feel like she's always been in Porsha's shadows. So she want to show the world that she's not just a friend, right? Because ain't that what her tagline say, basically? And she is going about it the wrong way. I think if Shamea would have came on the show and she would have just been Shamea, she would have been great. But the fact that, I know y'all don't want to believe Shamea is low-key jealous of Porsha, but I feel like she's low-key jealous of Porsha. And it's not the money, it's not the husband and the $9 million house, it's of Porsha's life. Porsha has a great personality. Porsha is just good at what she does. She's bubbly. She kind of don't hold on to stuff. She just be her. And I think that's what Shamea lacks. Shamea has the potential, but I don't think she has the confidence that Porsha has. And I hate to compare them, but you just can't help but doing it, especially in a situation like this. I feel like Shamea she just failed miserably. And I said this, like, I don't see how people don't see that her intentions was to make Porsha look bad. And she told everybody about about Porsha on the show. She talked to her about everybody. Andy asked Kelly, did she see any text messages? Of course Kelly's gonna say no. She gonna ride for whoever she with, like, Kelly is not a credible source. Porsha's like, I know she showed her my text messages because I knew what they said. Like, and at the end of the day, that's not even the problem. And like Porsha said that, she was like, I could get over the stuff on this show, but to then go on a press tour and just talk about me was crazy. And I've been saying this, like, you're on these blogs, I mean, not blogs, but you're doing these interviews, and instead of talking about your career as you're singing, you're starting in a movie with Candy, instead of talking about that, when somebody asks you about Porsha, all you got to say is we good, or we working on us, and leave it at that. But what do Shamea do? Shamea go on a whole smear campaign. And that's the problem, because it's like, in Porsha's face, you are her friend. You're taking up for her. And then when Porsha's not around, you're dogging her. And that's why you're getting called a lapdog. Not only that, it's like, if you feel this strongly about Porsha, let Porsha go. Y'all just don't need to be friends. I think the problem is it's like I said before, they have history. They genuinely love each other. It's like that family member that you really can't stand, you don't get along with, but because y'all are family, you deal with them. So it's like, you get on my nerves, but you my family, so I'm gonna deal with you. I feel like that's their relationship, but I don't feel like they've been close for a while. It's been problems on both parts. A lot of people like to say, oh, Porsha was cool with Phaedra. Shamea was cool with Kendi when Kendi had the beef with Porsha, and that was before the stuff with Phaedra happened. But at the end of the day, I just feel like, Shamea, you're holding a grudge, and instead of you talking to Porsha, or when you and Porsha did talk about it off the air, you made it like y'all was good. Y'all was on vacation, y'all was doing all the things. But then when you get in front of people, you revert back to, oh, she's not my friend, Porsha did me so wrong. And it's like, girl, at this point, you're trying to make me look bad. But anyways, y'all, that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, y'all.